Why is he out? Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when the and
I
as
think
soon
that's either yes or no.
Your
Was
Honor,
was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as saw him, she
Mr.
pointed the
Evans.
taser at him. He was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Miss Gaines. I did not ask that. Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video. Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history on an unarmed young man.
Miss Gaines, I don't get it.
Brett strutted into court acting like he owned the place, despite facing charges for assaulting two officers, punching them, twisting one's finger so badly it left him injured, and on top of that, assaulting his ex-girlfriend. This guy isn't just reckless, he's flat-out dangerous. Yet his attorney looks like she's bending over backwards to keep him out of jail, almost twisting reality to make him look harmless. Judge Simpson now has to decide. Does someone like this deserve another shot? Or should he stay locked up where he can't hurt anyone else? Let's dive in.
As to bond.
Your Honor, we are just looking to address the condition of bond that requires that Mr. Hopkins be on house arrest. Prior to this matter, Mr. Hopkins was employed as a result of having the tether plate. No longer able to, in this case, he was no longer able to maintain that employment. He is hoping to be able to get new employment and is asking that the court consider a no go-to order, a no contact order, or anything of that nature. My client, Mr. Hopkins, also recently registered for the cybersecurity program. Text me that information. I tried to send the confirmation to Ms. Barroso so that she would be able to see it. It's my understanding that the classes are majority online, but that would be the only place that he would have to come across Washtenaw County. Otherwise, he's just asking for some order that would allow him to work and just not have that kind of contact.
Response.
Your Honor, the bond in this case was set at $5,000 cash or surety when we requested a $50,000 bond. In this case, the people are uncomfortable with him being out. This was an event or a series of events that occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim at not one but two locations. An eyewitness saw the defendant shove the victim while near the police station. The police attempted to make contact with the defendant, and then he picked up, as a result of him resisting, picked up 5 counts of R&O against 4 different officers. One of those 5 counts is an R&O causing injury that was so severe that the officer is actually seeking specialized medical treatment from an orthopedic surgeon. At this point, this is a 9.
So hold on. There was a DV and then an officer injured. Why is he out?
Your Honor, if I could address.
Hold on. I'll let Ms. Barroso finish and then you can address it. I just had an intermediate question. Go ahead.
So at this point, I don't think that a modification of bond removing him from being on house arrest is appropriate. We objected to a nominal bond of $5,000 when it was originally granted. At this point, I don't think that any further reduction is appropriate.
A couple of things. First of all, Mr. Hopkins is here with his father. He is 20 years old. He has no prior criminal history. In reviewing the police report and the video, even the report references that the altercation, that the incidents that resulted in this charge, that there were
In which
that it was
charge?
I'll start with the domestic violence. That with those charges, that there was a more complicated situation. I believe the officer said, the report says something to the effect of, and this would also go to the property, that there had been physical altercations between the two of them, fighting between the two of them, and breaking of objects between the two of them. So I believe that there's more to this than said. The allegations of the domestic violence are the one of the shoving, and also I believe Mr. Hopkins taking his own computer back from the complainant. That's the second allegation of the domestic violence. And the resisting and obstructing is, the allegations are that Mr. Hopkins, not that Mr. Hopkins turned around and slammed someone or punched them or anything, that he pulled away. The allegation is the officer fell and that caused the injury. And then that officer fell, yes, as he pulled away. And then subsequently, 4 officers who were, some of whom just pulled up on the scene in the video, all ran after him. And that's where the resisting and obstructing comes. And he did, in fact, eventually stop. It was not, it's not as if he were in a vehicle and went miles or hours away. He did stop running, and he did, once they complied, once that occurred, there were no further incidents. So.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, that is not the characterization of the RNO. The allegations include him punching 2 officers in the face, breaking free of their grasp, causing them to fall to the ground, twisting and seriously injuring an officer's finger. And then it went on for such a period of time that an officer had to point and deploy a taser. And that another officer had to point their pistol at a defendant. So at the defendant. So at this point, I don't think it was him passively.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to view the video.
Did we all watch the same video? Because I genuinely don't know how this defense attorney is keeping a straight face. According to her, Brett punched one officer, ran off, then politely complied afterwards. Meanwhile, prosecutors say he assaulted 2 officers, twisted a finger badly enough to cause injury, and even had a gun drawn during the chaos. That's not a small difference. That's night and day. At best, she's downplaying the truth. At worst, she's outright lying to Judge Simpson. And let's be real, prosecutors don't just invent stories out of thin air. It's all in the police report. Honestly, this guy is clearly a threat, and pretending otherwise is reckless. I doubt the jury or Judge Simpson will buy it for a second. Whose side are you on so far? Because this defense attorney is driving me insane.
You had an opportunity to view the video.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when the end,
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as the officer saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not, as soon as she saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not a situation where he was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that.
Yes, sir.
Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video.
Ms. Burrows, are you indicating an officer had to draw their weapon?
That is what was indicated to me in the file, Your Honor. Yes.
And then there's an officer that's injured. Again, we'll ask the question. I don't know why this individual is out.
Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history, and he has no reason to come back to Washtenaw County other than for school in this case. It's my understanding, I have not heard any information that he has had any contact with the complainant, has violated any orders. He is just asking to be able to go to work and to be able to get a job and go to work. Your Honor, would you want to hear from Mr. Hopkins' father, who's present?
I don't know what he could tell me at this point in time. I'm more worried about the bond as it originally is set. Does he have prior convictions for anything?
No, Your Honor.
That the original domestic was about. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because I'll just tell you, I have some serious concerns that this escalated to a point that officers are having to deploy a taser, hold their weapon, and there are clearly enough officers around to, in my opinion, have subdued this individual without having to do all of that. So something else is going on. And and
Your Honor,
I also have, I mean, one's bad enough, but I have 2 counts of domestic violence.
again, Your Honor, one of them is him taking back his own computer. That's one of the allegations. And that's why I'm saying there were things that were happening before this. That's not to excuse his behavior. That is to say that there's broader context. And in my view of the video, initially there was 1 officer, then there were 2, and he ran from 2, but as he's running from those 2, there are cars, 4 and 5 cars are pulling up with sirens on an unarmed young man who clearly panicked. This is not someone who's had police involvement, who has a history of contact with law enforcement and the criminal justice system. Again, I'm not excusing, but I do think that there's more. I think there are more nuances to this than the prosecutor does.
Well, explain some of those then. Because I've got a victim of a DV that's injured.
She is not, the domestic violence person is not injured. It was the shove and the taking of there's no injury to her.
Domestic violence are 2 misdemeanor counts.
That is
The felonies here are 5 counts of are 5 counts.
Yeah, I see that.
Are not causing it.
Maybe I misread that on the report, but
Yes.
the injury to the finger that's the officer.
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't understand this. I mean, there's a lot I don't understand. How, and I get there are resisting and obstructings that are filed that some may look at as questionable in terms of the charge. I get that. But I'm also trying to figure out how an officer gets injured, that there are punches to the face of officers. I mean, Ms. Gaines, I don't get it.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying I did not see any punches to the face when I observed the video.
I'm sorry, but I'm just not buying this attorney's excuses. Her whole vibe screams damage control, not credibility. She's painting Brett as some poor victim when in reality, he literally attacked 2 officers and tried to run. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a crime. And the state's version of events? Straight up terrifying. If he'll punch cops, imagine what he'd do to ordinary people. This isn't paranoia, it's common sense. He's 100% not fit to be out on the streets. Some of you might say I'm being harsh, but seriously, how far does it need to go before we admit this guy belongs in jail? Let me know in the comments, because to me, this is like a 99-1 decision.
Tell you what, I'm certainly not changing any conditions. Can you explain to me one reason why I shouldn't raise his bond?
Your Honor, he has appeared for every court date, and he has not picked up any new charges. He has not had any contact with the complainant on the domestic violence or any of the officers. My understanding from him is that he has only come to Washtenaw County for court. He does not even reside in this county. It does not appear he's a flight risk, nor that he is a danger to the community. He is here with his father. He has come to every court date, and he's highly responsive to my calls and texts. And absent the no offer in this matter, we'd be looking to resolve it.
Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor.
You know what? I'm not changing his condition in the bond. I'm not at this juncture going to up his bond either, although of rights I should. Of rights, I don't think he should be out around tethered or not, given that behavior. But I'll let Judge Perry deal with that after she hears the preliminary examination. Bond will continue. Motion for bond reduction or changing condition is denied.
Thank you.
20 years old, accused of domestic violence, and then turns around and assaults 2 cops. That's not youthful stupidity, no matter how his attorney tries to spin it. Hearing her call him just a kid was painful. Like, no, you don't get a free pass to hurt people because you're young. The worst part? Her excuses didn't even make sense. Saying he needs to work when he doesn't even have a job? Come on, and honestly, where's his father in all this? Raising someone who thinks they can attack officers without consequences is a failure on every level. Violence against police is one of those red lines courts never ignore, and trying to excuse it only makes the system look weak. If anything, the attorney hurt her own credibility way more than she helped her client. So tell me, how long do you think Brett deserves to sit in jail for this?